Alright, welcome back. We're already in the queue for the next fight against our own summoned memory of Leviathan. So last time we found out that Eden is this, was not just the first Sin Eater, but also this sort of spaceship thing that can control the flow of ether. And we fought our way into it and fought off some defenders. And now the plan is to fly it around to various places throughout the empty, conjure up our memory of a primal to focus the ether that's stagnant but most prevalent in that area, for instance water with Leviathan, and then we kill the primal to disperse that ether back into the land, no longer stagnant. And now I'm gonna pause the recording while we wait to see if we can actually get this. Alrighty, we got in as long as everyone ready's up, and they did. Good. Success. Eden's Gate Inundation. So this is how we remember Leviathan, or how Leviathan is created using our memories. Alright, let's get this party started. Water. This is another fight I've only done a couple of times, but should be easy enough to follow mechanics. You know. Follow the other players who do know what they're doing. Oh, main tank. Just tank this bit. It does get more nuts than what's currently happening. Gotta get near this thing. Wow. Both our healers are dead. So we just force swipe, jump off. There's no way to bring anyone back to life, so. It happens. So the standard protocol, if there's no way that the surviving people can finish the fight, which there was no way, there's too much time, there's too much health left, is to just jump off the edge. To just let everyone die, so that you get to start over. this, unlike some of the later fights in this storyline, this one's not super hard in and of itself. But it does have some mechanics that can take you out. Alright, both the tanks are dead, so hopefully healers are quick on bringing them back up. Which they were. Got all of our lands back. There. But they can be brought back. Middle out next. Everybody. Oh no. Oh no, the only person over on that side is actually a person. It's the Dark Knight's copy. So Dark Knights can summon a self-copy shadow. There we go, we've got the middle back, so we have more room to move around. You know, not risk falling off every time fake Leviathan wants to throw something at us. Bigger targets. Whose job it is to send it shooting off to the sides. Whatever it okay, let's take them off the sides again. Shrinking our useful area. Why is someone using the limit break now? Did it. I will likely, as the further we go, the less I'll be talking in any of these fights. It'll get harder and harder. But healers. I just want to try to get some of this. You turn these in for actual gear. In Yulemore. So I figure might have not anything I need, like need, but I'll take a look at it, see if it's, you know, cool looking. Hey, Reen. That was incredible. Is that what a primal looks like? More or less. Oh, not quite the same then. Why is that? The Leviathan of the Source was summoned by the Sahagin, to whom he was no less than a god. Without their faith, the deiform entity that we brought into existence differed on a fundamental level, though it was no less formidable. The manifestation relied upon Asuka's experiences of Leviathan, and may have been influenced by recollections of other water aspect beings, leading to further discrepancies. Memories brought to life. But I still can't tell if our plan actually worked. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Ooh, link pearl noises. How goes it? If you've finished slaying your primal, whatever it is, I suggest you get back here on the double. There's something you ought to see. Okay. What could it be? Evidently, our only recourse is to return to our base of operations forthwith. There is Thancred. And there is us. Our us. Asuka, look! Whoa. That's a big old water aspected crystal right there. And there's a lake. By the 12's good grace, 'tis a marvel to behold. I never thought that a whole lake would suddenly appear like this. And we're just getting started. I only hope the burden is not too much for you, Asuka. Next, super seismic. I think this proves that the water aspect at Ether is no longer lying dormant. So which element should we rely on next, Oriange? I propose Earth. Should we succeed in returning the soil's life-giving energy, the empty shall become capable of supporting the growth of flora. Imagine that! Forests in the empty. But before we begin, I'd like to know how the girl is doing. Still sound asleep. She didn't so much as stir even when I took her helmet off. Though it might be getting a bit stuffy in there. I thought it might be getting a bit stuffy in there, and I was curious to know what sort of person we're dealing with. She seems surprisingly normal. Not at all like your usual Voidsent. I'd say she's around the same age as you, Reen. Perhaps a little older. Well, whoever she is, we should let her rest while we can concentrate on the task at hand. As much as I'd love to go with you, I'd best stay here in case she wakes up and is feeling less than cooperative. And while I wait here, wishing I had something to read, my thoughts will be with you. As you fly off to face the next opponent. Must be a strange feeling to bring something into existence through your own willpower, only to slay it immediately after. I almost feel sorry for the poor things. All the same, I wish you luck. If all goes well, you won't be waiting for long. The sooner we get this over with, the sooner we can see the results. Indeed. Now, off to the core again. Now, before we embark on our journey, there's one question I feel I should ask. Where are we going? Good question. I would suggest a certain region that lieth east of Norbrand, which was once home to the great Mount Atlas. For the earth-aspected primal we wish to invoke, what could be a more fitting choice than Titan? I don't think I've ever heard of that one. What's it like? The landslides. The landslides! It seems like you had a rather traumatic experience. But if our last battle is anything to go by, this one will be different from the Titan that Oscar remembers, yes? Aye, 'twould be wise to consider the two as entirely separate beings. As such, thou must needs conceive new stratagems if thou art to triumph in the battle to come. Past experience will avail thee naught, I fear. All right, Oscar. Once you're ready, we'll be on our way. Bum, bum. It took a while, but we finally arrived. Ready, Oscar? Yes. Memories of Titan come tumbling back. Alright. Now, see how long it's going to take us to get into this. And while we wait, we pause. So that was way faster than some of the other ones I've waited for this morning. Like the second fight from the last video, I waited 2 hours for that. This, I think I waited 4 or 5 minutes. That's a different Titan. We're probably gonna have issues. Because he's tough. He is tough. But, so, the way this is broken up, 4 fights got released at a time, and so the story came out in parts. This being the 4th fight of the first part, hardest of them. So you can kind of see it's arranged as a grid. A lot of the attacks work. Rock. Too far away there. I've definitely crossed the center of that expanding attack before. Got pushed off the side. So I got pushed off the side there. The other healer back first. Okay, both healers are up. That is good. They've got to kind of focus on keeping everyone alive so they get their insta-casts ready to go to bring people back. Brought back. Ah! That wasn't fast enough. So I quoted C-3PO there. Curse my metal body, I wasn't fast enough. I've just been brought back to life too. That's always fun. Because while you're invincible for 5 seconds after being brought back to life, you're not immune to knockback. Oh, that's right. One of our damaged people is a summoner. Summoners can resurrect too. So we actually have 3 people to bring people back to life. Because Summoner and Scholar both start as Arcanists. So they share some of the same early skills, like Resurrection. Rock. But oh, that was close. We want to get to the side of him. We lost one healer, but the Summoner's still alive. Come back. Both healers. At this point in the game, should hopefully be at a point where they know to bring the summoner back. Which they did. Good, good. Although one of the healers is dead. No, they both up now. Good. These healers are, while we're dying mostly to our own mistakes, these healers are quick on the resurrections. Wiped. Close enough. Now we did. People discussing strategy. There we go. Use the gun again. Like I said, sorry. Now I think everybody kind of remembers what's going on. I'm ranged, I can get behind this rock before the attack. Rather than need to be behind it for. Somebody fell off. In front of him. Get off the sides. Slightly more successful than last time. Go. This way. Don't want to cross the center. Or you get sent off the other way. Car, go to the sides. Dying faster than last time. Probably because we've stayed alive longer. More of us have stayed alive for longer. One person who keeps dying is the Black Mage. That is because Black Mages are kind of crippled by the fact that they have long cast times on a lot of their attacks. They're not a very mobile job. Which is why it's the job that Yoshi plays. It's like playing the game on hard mode. Okay, not the car, so we want to be in front of it. So we know where to go. Died there. Healers are things with their resurrections. Good. Level 3 limit break. That one. But healer got the second healer up. Now as soon as they can, they'll bring up the summoner. This is the first time we've done a celebratory thingy in a while at the end of the fight. See, Eden's Gate complete. We finished the first 4 fights. Command one of those healers, because holy crap, we need that mount. Not mount, the minion. I didn't get it. It's the only minion from this series of raids I don't have. And it only drops from this fight. People are jumping off and resurrecting themselves. Green. Welcome back. You must be exhausted. For a creature made of rock, he was a lot more agile than I was expecting. I wonder, was the Titan on your world a tough opponent too? He never stood a chance against me. Well, having seen the way you fight, I can believe it. But more importantly, you've defeated another elemental being, which means we're a step closer to reclaiming the empty. I can't wait to see how much of a difference we've made this time. Did we really do all of this? Aye, it would appear that balance has returned to the element of earth, and yet... the transformation has affected only the immediate vicinity, whereas the lands beyond this lake doth remain unchanged. It is passing strange indeed. Did we do something wrong? Though this falleth short of the outcome I had envisioned, it is plain our efforts were not in vain. Mayhap this localized phenomenon is the result of an intersection of ethereal currents. Therefore, it is reasonable to assume that similar locations in the empty hath undergone comparable alterations. Then the ether will spread out from these points to cover the rest of... You okay? What? Reen? Reen! The next piece of the puzzle. It's nothing. That didn't look like nothing to me. You'd better lie down for a while. No, really, I'm fine. Anyway, we've still got work to do. Nay, Thancred hath the right of it. It would be unwise to exert thyself overmuch. I appreciate your concern, but I do wish you'd stop fussing. Reen, thou knowest not the strain thou dost place on thyself. Though the elements of water and earth hath been restored, continued exposure to the empty stagnant ether may yet sap thee of thy remaining strength. Now that you mention it, I've been feeling a bit out of sorts ever since we got here. I should probably get away from the empty and rest for a while. Pray do so. Meanwhile, I shall remain here. The restoration of the first 2 elements hath produced unexpected results, and I require time to analyze our findings. However, I must ask thee to refrain from discussing our work in the empty, even with our closest comrades. Why? I thought they'd welcome the news. And indeed they shall, once we have more to show for our efforts. Nevertheless, this mission is one of surpassing danger. I am loath to place our dearest friends at risk unless absolutely necessary. You have their best interests at heart, I'm sure. But to be perfectly honest, I'd prefer not to keep secrets from people that I trust with my life. I don't want to make a habit of this, but I'll do as you ask. It seems to me that Reen isn't the only one who would benefit from a change of scenery. Our Sleeping Beauty would likely fare better in more hospitable surroundings. We'll need to have our associates from the Crystarium organize a safe place for her to stay. If you and Oscar could go on ahead and have a word with them in Morn Souk, we'll catch up with you once Oriange has finished whatever it is that he needs to do. Perhaps thou too shouldst accompany her on the return journey. I dare say she would be glad of thy presence. No, not this time. She's come such a long way since we first met, and I worry that relying on me too much will only hold her back. We won't be staying in the First forever. The time will come for Reen and I to part ways, and for her to follow her own path. I know you understand this too, Oriange, and see you trying to pass on as much of your knowledge as possible while you still can, and to her credit, she's actually taking most of it in. Reen is possessed of a natural affinity for etherology, unlike some who shall remain unnamed. A natural affinity for staying awake during your lectures, more like. Though, come to think of it, she doesn't really take after me at all. However, like thee, she is predisposed to brooding in silence in lieu of voicing her concerns. Oh, Reen's two dads, again. Talking about who she takes after. Says the master of keeping his cards close to his chest. Anyway, Oscar, you'd better take the sky slipper with Reen. It's true that she's been through a lot lately, but so have you. We'll need you ready for the challenges that lie ahead, so go on and get some rest. Okay. We shall await news of thy safe arrival in Amarang. Talk to Reen. It seemed like you were all having quite a serious discussion. I hope I haven't given you any cause for concern. Nope. Well, if you say so. I probably shouldn't stay in the empty any longer than necessary, though. So, do you want to take the first shift piloting, or shall I? My nose is running. Oh, we're back in Amarang. Phew. I'm glad I had you there to keep me company. I've no idea how I would have passed the time otherwise. Now that we're here, I need to find our contact from the Crystarium. Before that, I was hoping I could have a word with you. Something's been on my mind. Okay. This might not be the best place for it, though. Those creatures over there look a bit hungry. When I first spoke to Thancred and Oriange about what I'd sensed in the empty, part of me wished we could have just left it alone. I guess I was scared of what we'd find. But now that we found Eden, I know that I made the right choice. And if I'd given in to my fear, I probably would have spent the rest of my life wondering what might have been. From now on, whenever I hear that voice inside telling me to run away, to hide, I won't listen. It's not who I am anymore. Even so, all the courage in the world is not going to help me decide what we should do with that girl when she wakes up. Do you remember what she said right before she passed out? Why am I here? What is happening? What if she's being controlled or forced to act against her will? Whatever the case, it's clear that she's not a monster. She's a person, like you or me. Obviously she knows something about Eden. We need all the information we can get. But more than that, I just want to talk to her. Find out who she is and if there's anything we can do to help her. On the other hand, we mustn't forget that she's already attacked us once. What's to say she won't try it again when she wakes up? If she keeps us from reclaiming the empty, it will be all my fault. It's no good. I can't make up my mind. What do you think we should do, Asuka? If Elfino were here, he'd talk things through with her. Yes, like that time in Yulmore. Even when confronting Valtteri, he tried his hardest to find a peaceful solution. Hopefully she'll be a bit more willing to listen. Until then, I'll try to concentrate on the here and now. Speaking of which, I still need to see to Urianger's errands. The people we're on our way to meet have lent us the Sky Slipper and most of the apparatus we've been using, and since we've been sworn to secrecy, I assume the same applies to them and their colleagues. Anyway, once that's over with, we can find a place to relax. Oh, we're already in Morton's suit. Just gotta find Reen. There she is. Now that we're here, allow me to introduce you to two members of our inner circle, or whatever you want to call it. That's Gulgul, who's interested in trading for any relics we find in the empty. Apparently, he mostly deals in exotic weapons and whatnot, but he's agreed to keep us supplied with whatever else we can't get from the Crystarium. Now, the ones we came to meet should be around here somewhere. Ah, Reen. What a relief it is to see you returned unharmed from your expedition. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. We were gone a bit longer than we expected. Oscar, I'd like you to meet Luri. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. As representative of the Settlement Council, I am here to oversee the delivery of equipment deemed necessary for your mission. I will be on hand to provide any assistance you may require. Actually, there's something we'd like you to take care of. It's probably not best to talk about it in the middle of the market, though. I'll take it from here, Asuka. You should get some rest. But before you go, I'd like to thank you for everything you've done. We still have a long road ahead of us, but if we give it our all, there's nothing we can't handle. I see. Though it is mere supposition, it would behoove us to proceed with caution. Moreover, I would refrain from discussing the matter with Reen and Asuka until we know more. Well, I appreciate you telling me, even if it is too soon to be sure. I'm the one watching over her, after all. What aren't you telling us, Urianger? The Oracle of Darkness. What? I pray it is not true. What? Alright. So that's where we'll stop this one for now. So that we have the next quest and some actual meat to it before getting into the next bit of fights when we come back. So until then, there's Yalfort, a dragon man with long golden hair.